Hey everybody, it's Abby. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. So today I'm going to be talking about your no-buy and tax returns, or even if you're not on a no-buy, you're just trying to be more conscious about your spending and everything. So again, like I said in the last video, sorry about my voice. I've had the flu for the past week, and this is the best it's going to get. So what I'm going to talk about today is what we're attempting to do with our tax returns, what we should do with the tax returns, and then what if you had to pay or didn't even get a return, and also some tips for next year. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. So a lot of people, myself included, make big plans for their tax returns. So they're going to say like, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go on vacation, or I'm going to buy new tires for my car, or I'm going to buy a new car with my tax return. And often it's not quite enough for a vacation to Bali or somewhere, so we find something else to do with it instead. So we will take it and spend it on like shoes, clothes, makeup, whatever your vice is that you wouldn't normally be able to afford throughout the rest of the year. The responsible thing, however, is to use it to pay off your debt or save it. Of course, you know that, right? The emergency savings could use some padding, and you'll be thankful when such emergency arises, or that you'll be closer to being debt free. The key thing to remember when it comes time to for tax returns is that it wasn't your money to begin with. It's not an extra paycheck. It's not a freebie from Uncle Sam. So basically, if you don't know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know what tax returns are, but basically if you say you have a normal job, whatever, they take money out of your paycheck to go towards taxes, and then at the end of the year when you file your tax return, the government looks at how much you've paid them and how much of your money that they actually used, and if you get paid more money than they used, then they'll give you some back. That's your refund. And sometimes you don't pay enough taxes and then they charge you. So I'll talk about that later. So your tax return can seem like a lot of money, but actually if you break it down by like how much that you paid in every paycheck, let's say, then it's not that much at all. So for example, my refund this year was around $800. So if I was to take that and divide it by 24, which is approximately the amount of paychecks that you get in a year, just rough estimating, like 2 per month, then that would be $33 per paycheck, which you wouldn't miss because it's, unless you're in dire straits and absolutely need every penny that you make. It's not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, because I was paying $33, more than $33 every month in taxes. So that helps a lot when you're trying to figure out what you're going to do with the money, because you know that it's not that much anyways. It's just kind of lumping it all into one. And a lot of people consider their tax refund as an extra paycheck, which is dangerous because some years you might not get that refund at all. So I'm going to talk about that now. So however, it's a bit different if you had to pay in for your taxes or if you even didn't get a refund. So both situations are perfectly normal. Just remember to always check for extra deductions and write-offs and things. For example, if you pay student loans, then you can deduct the amount that you paid in student loan interest. So if you didn't get a refund, that just means that you didn't loan any extra money to the government. And that's actually the ideal situation to have, is to not have any refund because you paid the right amount. And if you had to, in like this year or any other year, if you had to pay in to the government at tax return time, then you might be able to make adjustments to your I-9 form, that form that you fill out when you get a new job, because that, if you like gain a dependent or whatever, if your situation changes and you file differently, then you need to go into your work and have them update your I-9 form. I know for me, like being single, not having any dependents, you can either claim yourself or just not claim anything, and that changes somehow. I'm not an expert, so I don't know exactly how all that works, but my last job I claimed, I think what it was is I had to end up changing how I did that, because it was taking, like, one option takes more out of your check each month, but then you get a bigger refund, and then the other option will not take as much Or wait a minute, how does that work? Either. There's one where you get more money each month taken out of your check, but you get a bigger refund, and then there's one option that doesn't take as much out, but you make more take home money, but then you also don't get as big of a refund. So you can like finagle with that and see how that affects you. There's ways online to search and look that up just to see what the best option for you is. So I don't want to give you any wrong information and tell you what to claim, because I don't know. So yeah, that's one thing to remember. If your living situation changes, or if you've been at the same job for a long time, then definitely take a look at your I-9 form and make sure that it's all accurate and still correct. So that way you're not paying the wrong amount in taxes, and then it's messing up your return and everything. So for next year, remember to avoid saving big purchases for tax time. You want to make sure that you save for them throughout the year. That way, in case something happens and like you're really banking on that, and then you don't get the refund that you thought you were going to. So as you saw earlier, even $33 a paycheck adds up over time. You could probably save more than that if you wanted to. And also use your refund wisely. Use it to save or pay down your debt. And you can also pay extra money on your car if you don't have any other like loans or credit cards or anything. Which, some people are lucky and they have a car on a 0% interest. If you're on 0%, I wouldn't worry about paying it off early. But if you have like quite a high interest rate on your car or even on your credit card or whatever, it's highly worth paying extra, because then you end up paying less in interest over time. And also, if you are expecting to have to pay into your taxes next year, don't wait to figure that out until tax season. Make sure you save up throughout the year to be able to pay that off, so you don't have to put it on a credit card, or even worse, have to take out a loan to pay your taxes. That's a slippery slope to get down. You don't want to have to do that. Also, something else that I looked up in preparing for this video. I know I prepared for a video. It's crazy, but if you pay your taxes with a credit card, then the IRS charges a fee, and it can be up to it's almost 2% of the charge. So it's even if you have to pay like a few $100s, it's not that much money, but still you don't want to have to pay that charge. So just save up the money ahead of time. Have it in your emergency savings or whatever, and then you can use that to pay off your taxes, and also avoid paying them late because you don't have the money. So that's my talk about tax refunds and the IRS and refunds and money and all that. So just remember the main thing is to not treat it like it's an extra paycheck, and to use it to save money to pad your emergency savings or to pay off your debt. So that's about it. Let me know if you have any tips on avoiding spending money or being responsible around tax time, and we would love to hear from you if you have any ideas. And that's about it. So if you have any other questions or any topics that you want me to talk about regarding money, finances, credit, all that stuff, leave it in the comments and I will do a video about it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.